Joined by Dr. Yasir Masood, who is a foreign affairs analyst, to discuss more on that. The question that I was asking you about the 140 Taliban officials that are already under UN sanctions, do you believe that the Australian move will also show the continued defiance as far as the Afghan Taliban government is concerned, as far as their so-called norm in their country is concerned, and of course Pakistan that has been continuously calling for accountability in the country is concerned?
Well, absolutely. When half of the cabinet is under ban and under restriction, travel restriction, this is a testimony to the fact that this is give precedence to Pakistan's stance over the years, what Pakistan has been calling for. Australia has taken the lead. So I would say that Australia has cracked the door open for the rest of the states now to emulate and follow the same principle. But the main point of concern is that even according to United Nations or United Nations Security Council, this is the longest regime which is under ban, different sorts of bans since 1999. But where is the issue? The issue is the enforcement or the compliance. But on the positive side, this is a step taken in the very right direction for Pakistan. And what Pakistan has been calling that it's not a bilateral issue anymore. As my co-panelist just mentioned, that Afghanistan is hand in gloves with India for that matter, creating chaos, creating uncertainty, destabilizing Pakistan. And then I think what Australia has proved that the UN sanctions are not enough. States alone now needs to take action. This is one of the best example which Australia has set right now. And I think what needs to be done on part of Pakistan is that Pakistan has to further strengthen its alliances with the European countries, with United States of America for that matter, and which is already in compliance to Pakistan's stance. For example, like the previous SIGAR report clearly mentioned that how the 7.1 billion worth of leftovers in Afghanistan is destabilizing the entire region. The killing of Chinese in Tajikistan, again, it was emanated from Afghan soil. Shows that how horrendous it could be. Qaeda is over there, ISK is over there. So I think this is turning out to be a regional, rather a global problem, the transnational security problem, which needs to be looked into. And that what Pakistan has been calling for over the years. So I think, as I mentioned, that this is the step taken in the right direction. And I'm sure that other states, like in the European countries, United States of America, can take the lead from there. And I think it's a good omen for Pakistan.
Yasir, Western unity is under severe strain under the current circumstances. Zelensky is meeting the leaders of the United Kingdom, of France, Germany in London. How realistic is that a consensus might be reached in these meetings as far as the future of the peace deal is concerned?
Well, Omar, as you mentioned, that it's more than 1,000 days of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. Let me show you a bigger picture that the security architecture of the world is fraying at the moment. And that's why we see that the different parts of the regions, different parts of the world are gripping with geopolitical conflicts. I think there is a dire need for the global populace as well as for the savvy states to revisit the security structure of the world. But having said this, it's a positive step taken by United States of America because as President Donald Trump calls himself as a deal maker, as a peacemaker. So I think this was already on the cards. It has already been delayed, considering the fact that there had been back and forth meeting with President Zelensky as well as with Putin. So I think right now it's a critical moment in this conflict because at one side, if we see that I think that Moscow is in a better position to leverage this political peace deal because of its territorial gains, because of its better geopolitical profile, and also because of its better alliances. And despite the fact that the European countries, the West has tried its best to give pressure to Moscow in terms of the sanctions, especially the economic sanctions. But even then, the Russia is coming hard. And there are some concerns from Russia as well as from the Zelensky on both sides that on one side there are territorial gains, but on the other side there is tremendous domestic pressure on Zelensky, and as well as from its journal, from its military, from its population, and it's from government that it cannot allow unilateral territorial gains to Russia. On the other hand, Russia feels that it is in a position where it can further take strength in terms of its territorial gains and wants some sort of a further secure guarantees from United States of America as well as from Europe. So the Zelensky meeting with the European leaders, it is difficult but not impossible. I see three particular scenarios that how Berlin, how London, and how the French authorities would see this, because they also have some sort of pressure from its population. Also, the economic situation of the entire Europe is already under strain. So we have yet to see that what sort of guarantees Zelensky can get from these European countries. If it can get the guarantees like the financial guarantees, the long term strategies, which Zelensky is after for many years now, Zelensky might be hoping for some sort of sustainable guarantees emanating from the Europe. Otherwise, situation would be very difficult, and it seems that Zelensky is in a tightrope situation because on the other side, I have explained the scenario of Moscow. So let's see what's going to happen. As I mentioned, that it would be very difficult for the European countries as well to give sustainable guarantees to Zelensky.